Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. We made it to Friday. Hope everyone's having a great week. If y'all don't know me, you don't know who I am. It's Raf. My name is Raf. I'm the entrepreneur of Raf's Coaching LLC. Um, what am I doing here on live? I talk about entrepreneur things here on live. I used to do this in the entrepreneur parking lot, Raf's Corner, the entrepreneur parking lot, but I guess I got kicked out, lost some privileges. I've been fighting with Facebook for a long time now. I've been restricted, I guess, on my access. So now I go live here on my profile. So I just want to say good evening to everybody. What's up to everybody? Today we'll be highlighting a special guest. Her name's Chastity. She is like the financial queen of things. So I get to talk to her today. Bring her on. She gets to highlight what she does. So appreciate all the support. Happy February to everybody. New month, new grind, new week. Well, the week is over, but we're in a new week, day number 3, something like that. What's up, everybody? I see you guys watching. I see the comments. Hope you guys are having a great February. Get to work this month. If you had a rough start in January, New Year, it's okay. It's a new month. Just start over. Just start over. That's simple. Just start over. What we do each week, you'll probably see me more often on this platform, talking to entrepreneurs, dropping gems, talking about business stuff, gem stuff that can help your family, stuff that can help your personal development, your spirituality, God, all that great stuff. We'll talk about all that stuff. If you ever want to just come on the platform and talk about some entrepreneur things, definitely hit me up, shoot me a DM, plug you in the calendar, we'll get chatting. But that's what we do. If you want to showcase anything, you want to talk about your craft, your services, your products, what you do, you just want to shoot the fade, we could do that too. So I'm more than happy to have everybody come on here and talk about their entrepreneurship. I'll give you a little bit of background about me while I wait for our guests. I hate talking about me because I don't even know what to say, right? But no, again, I've been entrepreneur of Raf's Coaching LLC. We help people get started in business, entrepreneurs get started in business. So if you are looking to start a business, I'm your guy. I'll help you through that. If you're looking to grow your business, I'll help you do that too. All right, Chastity's here, so I'm going to bring her on video. We could talk about me later. All right, let me send this invite. But no, thanks for all the support, everybody. Thanks for all the love. Appreciate the fun times, so I appreciate it. Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
Go
How
ahead
you
and
doing?
yourself. I'm well. Thank you.
Good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for making
I,
time tonight.
of course, I was trying to join on my computer, but it looks like Facebook don't send the notification on the
Yeah,
computer.
I've
You
heard
have to do
that. You're not the first person I heard that from before too. So it's just, I guess it's a Facebook thing, so got to go mobile sometimes.
it.
I've had issues with the going live and Facebook and all this other stuff. Sometimes they won't even let you go live if you don't update your app. So it's crazy stuff. So I gave the audience, I was only on here for about 2 minutes. So I just gave the audience an overview of what we do on the platform each week and then introduced a little bit. I just gave them your name. That's all I gave her. I called you the financial queen, which we'll get into. So, but that was it. I talked about what we do each week and then entrepreneurship and things of that sort. So I want to introduce you, Chastity, right? Am I saying it right? Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Welcome. Thanks for coming on. You can take the audience through what you currently do, how you get started, and what you're doing. A little bit about you, and feel free to just be yourself and tell us a little bit about your advisorship.
Of course, of course. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And first, I want to give thanks to God because without Him, we're nothing, right? So, amen to that. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. So, a little bit about me. I have spent 16 years as a nurse.
Wow.
I did,
Congratulations.
thank you. I did geriatric care. Old people have always been a thing for me. Their stories and their guidance have really stuck with me throughout the years. And I transitioned during COVID because of course, COVID was a lot.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
they were pushing us nurses to our limits.
Mm.
And I had to come to the fact that I didn't want to do it anymore. After being in the middle of it, not being able to go home, being stuck somewhere, it just was not for me.
Right, right.
So I transitioned over into IT, and I've been doing IT since in the middle of the pandemic, so about
That's a big
2020.
transition.
It
Nurse to
is
IT. That's a big transition.
And the crazy thing is that I'm not, I don't have a fancy degree. I haven't gone to college. I mean, I have a lot of
Love
certificates
it.
underneath my
I
belt.
mean, that's all you really need nowadays.
Yeah,
That's really what you need, which
yeah,
is great.
yeah. My dad always taught me, as long as you have some kind of certificate underneath your belt, and especially if it's something that a computer can't do,
Mm-hmm.
you are okay.
Right,
People always need other people,
right.
and we don't always realize that until we need other people,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And
So
it's not always what you know, it's who you know. That helps too. That
absolutely,
helps. I mean,
absolutely.
I've seen some people get the biggest jobs and the best roles based off of referral versus their qualifications. So, that's just a rule of thumb in life. So, if
Yeah,
anyone
it is. Yeah, it
don't
is.
know, now you know. Tonight you know. Start what you know is
Yeah,
who you know
it's
sometimes.
not,
What you know
yeah,
is
and,
important too, but still.
yeah, and sometimes you have to step out of that box. We get so caught up in, you know, stranger danger, don't talk to strangers, you know what I'm saying? But I've actually come to realize that even with being in this new space that I'm in, strangers are going to be the number one people to support you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so take the time to say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Right.
You know, just like how you and I did.
Mm-hmm.
It it don't take a lot. It just takes that step.
Right.
So if any of you are feeling like, you know, oh, I don't want to talk to strangers or, stuff like that, always start with a compliment. You
Mm-hmm.
know, hey, how you doing? Kudos to you for what you do, or, nice shirt, even when you're out, nice shirt, nice shoes, a smile. You never know what else you're doing for somebody else,
Right.
you know.
For sure. For sure.
Um, So transitioned. Actually, so I have been thinking a lot about coming into the financial space when I started in IT.
Okay.
Um, I really realized that when I realized, because I work for Wells Fargo, I am an IT tech for Wells Fargo, and then I realized there's no growth for me. You I will always be just that, an IT tech for Wells Fargo,
Right. Right.
you know. And I started a side business. Like I make custom dominoes and keychains and memorial
Nice.
pieces and stuff like that. But I wanted something that was more fulfilling,
Mm-hmm.
something that I knew that, because of course, people like keychains, people like custom dominoes. They're cool. They look nice. They're pretty, you know. But I've always been the type of person that wanted to always fulfill people in something that they always need. That's always been the nurse in me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kind of ties back to that nursing piece, right? That fulfillment. So
Exactly.
it's like you had to get
Exactly.
back to it somehow.
Somehow. So a friend of mine, this lady didn't know me from nobody, right? I met her on a group, just how you and I
Nice.
met her on a
Nice.
group, and she just took the step to say, hey, I mean, we had conversations inside the
Mm-hmm.
group, but never in a private, message. So she just took that leap of faith in herself, and she was like, hey, I have this opportunity. It's awesome. I think you would really benefit from it. just watching your page,
Nice.
and watching how you interact with people, this could be really life-changing for you. And it has.
Nice, nice, nice.
It
How long
has.
has it been since you started for where you're at today? How long have you been doing
So I started, I started at the end of
it?
November.
Okay, nice.
That's how much growth I've had.
Right, that's fast.
Now,
That's a lot of growth in, a good short period of time. That's awesome.
yes, and this is what blows people's minds. So I am in the life insurance industry,
Hmm.
okay? I help people secure their legacies. I help them protect their retirement. I help people with annuities, IRAs, Roth IRAs. We roll
Love
over.
it. Love it.
Um, People need to realize is that, their 401ks, their 403bs, all of that stuff can be gambled and will be gambled in the stock market
Right.
by their jobs. And they don't realize that. That's not fair.
Gem. Just want to throw just a little gem.
Yeah, yeah,
Gems.
yeah. You know, if you are retiring, hey everyone, if you're out there retiring and you have a 401k, you have a 403b, if you're a teacher, if you work for the government, anything like that, um, you need to roll that stuff over. It needs to go into something that will protect it. Protect your money. That way you don't lose the money to the stock market. You can actually gain money, but we'll get
Hmm.
there. Um, so this lady, she didn't know me, you know, and from November, I immediately started. She showed me everything and it was a no-brainer for me, right?
Nice.
She broke down living benefits, and we'll get there. Y'all, this information is just, it's amazing. It's so
Yeah,
amazing.
it's funny because I've done some research and I've learned a little bit about it in the last year, and it's kind of like wow, like I wish we talked about it more. I wish people would educate it more. I wish we would see it more. And when we see it, sometimes we just see like a post about it, but we don't really deep like we need to dig in and we need to highlight and we need to break it down like we break down every little other piece that we do in life. But I'll leave that to you. But yeah, that's like it's like kind of like mind blowing. Like, is this real to a point? It's just like so
Right,
I can do this with this money. It's protected. It grows over time, and I'm not penalized. Like, what's the catch? You always used to say, "What's the catch?" Like, but it's like a real thing. So
yeah, it is a real thing. There is, so the only catch there is, the catch is get
right,
educated.
that's it. The
Point
smallest
blank
piece.
period. Smallest piece.
Yeah.
30 to 45 minutes of your time, sit down. If you're not with me, sit down with some financial advisor, okay? Somebody that knows what they're doing, somebody that is ethical, okay? Do your research on these people. Go ask them for their Facebook pages. You're not afraid to go to the store and ask Walmart, hey, where is this? How does it work?
And you
You
gotta
know,
ask from Walmart. You ain't nothing at the same spot. Ain't nothing in the same spot at Walmart.
absolutely. Ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. You know, um, especially when you're working that really actually cares about what they're doing. And that's where we come in. Okay. We don't do anything that is unethical for anybody. I will give somebody the lowest policy that I could possibly give them
Love that.
just to be covered. There are too many of us leaving this place, transitioning over, and we're leaving our families with nothing.
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
Right. And yeah, and to your point, I mean, there's just like to your point, there's policies out there that you'll spend on dinner or a movie or something crazy each month that you could just put that little bit away each month and your family's really set up for, the next 20, 30, 40 years, it's
Absolutely.
that small. It's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. You can literally take I have a friend of mine. She just has a newborn baby, right? Her baby is a month and a week and a half old. Okay. And she has already started her a policy that will gain her money when as she grows up,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and break down the insurance policies, okay? So the insurance policies, we're gonna start with our term policies, right? Which our term policies are, of course, our policies that eventually expire, right? They go from anywhere from 10 to 30 years. You can get a large amount of coverage for a very small price. Okay. Usually, I like to say this is like our car insurance, right? We pay car insurance every single month. Usually, we pay that term policy every single month, and it's usually through our jobs. Our jobs are usually the people who bring these to our attention, right? And they have to because it's not in the interest of the employees. It's in the interest of the employer. So
Gosh,
they
yep, yep. Always
have,
in the interest of the
yeah,
employer.
always, they have to provide you that coverage just in case anything happens to you while you're on their property.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? So again, these term policies, you get a great amount for little of nothing. So my friend, she has 3 children, okay, and she has covered each and every one of them for less than $50 a month for all 3 of them.
Wow. Wow, that's great. That's great.
She has $50,000 for each child, okay? So, and all of our policies have living benefits, okay? And living benefits are, God forbid, if something is to happen to you, you fall sick or disabled, okay? You can accelerate your cash value out of your life insurance policy, okay? And the your cash value, well, not your cash value, you actually can accelerate your death benefit, right? So if you have a $100,000 life insurance coverage, you can take at least 90% of that and take
Wow,
care of yourself while you're still alive.
that's great. I mean, 90% is a big number. It's a big
That's
number.
a
You
big,
can't you can't pull 90% from almost any loan. 401k is only I think 45%, 50%. You're
yeah,
taxed on it. Got to pay it back if it's through a loan, anyways. So for you're able, then that's a big difference right there, right? 50 versus the 90.
absolutely. Absolutely. I know people that have gotten millions of dollar policies on themselves and have been able, that living benefit has been a complete game changer in the insurance world, period.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 4 riders with living benefits. Okay. Critical illness, chronic illness, critical injury, and terminal illness.
Mm,
Okay. So critical illness, you have a heart attack, kidney disease, anything like that, you can accelerate your death benefit. Okay? Critical injury, God forbid you get into a car accident.
mm-hmm.
You can accelerate your benefit. Get yourself a better doctor. Get yourself taken care of, take care of your family, even with terminal illness, cancer. Um, you God forbid the doctor tells you, sir, ma'am, you have less than 6 months to live.
Mm-hmm.
You can accelerate your death benefit and you can take care of your family before
Right.
you go, right? So, our term policies are just that, they last 10 to 30 years. Usually, most people get these coverages to cover their mortgage. They get these coverages to make sure that their children are okay and also just to cover debt. We want to make sure that when we pass away, we don't leave a bunch of debt for our family to take care of.
Right.
You know, And that happens a lot in
Oh,
our community.
oh
Is
man,
that
we see it all the time. We see it all the time.
yes,
And it's stressful. It's a burdensome. And then you got to, because losing someone is already, you'll go through depression. It's always it's a sad thing. You're gonna have pressure, and then if there's no finances or no funds available for your loved one. That adds added pressure, family, communication issues, all that becomes
yeah,
an issue. And you like after you're getting there and you get it all squared away, you forget that like we're looking and we're like passionate about who we lost, versus all the background noise and the burden of not having the funds available, or the family not left with anything. So
right, right. So I was actually doing some research today, and National Life Group has actually added another living benefit. So they not only have four, but they also have five. So they also have added Alzheimer's care.
wow,
Yes.
wow,
So
that's new. I don't think I've heard of that before.
yeah, yeah. They just passed it. Um, I was reading a little bit on it earlier, and God forbid if dementia and Alzheimer's hit, you'll be able to accelerate your death benefit if you have it through NGL. And uh, NLG is National Life Group. So that's pretty cool. That blew my mind some more because I was like, cancer, okay. And being a geriatric nurse, there
Mm-hmm.
had been so many families with their loved one with Alzheimer's,
Right.
and insurance don't cover it, so they have to find out how to figure out how to take care of their family,
Wow.
you know. So um, this insurance, life insurance has, and I've picked and dabbled in health insurance a little bit, but life insurance is where it's
Oh
at.
yeah.
Like if you really want to feel like you're absolutely helping somebody, life insurance is where it's at. So we also offer return of policy. Okay, so return of policy is if you outlive your premium from your life insurance policy, right? So say you have a life insurance policy that's 20 years, right? We're still young, right? So it could be possible that we outlive our term insurance, right? So 20 years down the line, if you outlive your policy, you get everything back that you put into that policy, right? So let's do the math. So if you pay a policy that's $100 a month, right? And you times that times 12, right? That's $1,200, okay? And then our term policy is 20 years, right? That's $24,000 that you've put inside your life insurance policy, and you get that back, okay?
There you go.
And if you were to get into a car accident, I'm sorry, not if you were to get into a car accident, but say, you pay your car insurance every single month. What happens when you go to renew it? It goes up,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
right? Price goes up, everything goes up for you, right? And then you don't get your premium
Oh
back.
yeah.
Everything that you put back,
You gotta have to prove yourself for the next 10 years and then switch auto policies. It's terrible.
right, right, it's terrible, you know. But with the return of policy, you get your money back for what you put into it.
That's awesome. And that normally doesn't ever happen anywhere. You know, like it's always something that like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah. It is what it is. You pay what
Right.
you pay. Thanks for doing business with me.
Right.
Are we signing something else? Moving on, you know? And that's
Right.
usually what happens, you know. And it's affordable, these policies, they are term policies, so they do eventually expire, you
Right.
know. The good thing is that, if you're like us and you're building yourself and you're, trying to put more into where you get it from, then you can always move that and you can always move it up into a permanent policy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So our permanent policies, you have two kinds of permanent policies. So you have your whole life policies. And most people, when we say whole life policies, the first thing they think of is Gerber Life. Gerber Life is a great policy, great benefits. They are helpful, you know. Now, with whole policies, you get everything, as far as, you have your living benefits, you have your 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 fixed amounts where it's stable, and you can also invest inside of a whole life policy and gain what is called a cash value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So cash value, half of your premium goes into your cash value every month, and the other half of your premium pays for your policy.
There you go. Best way to split the money, you know?
Best way to split the money. Now, the upside of having a whole life policy is that eventually, while you have that cash value, you will be able to borrow from it. Now, the downside of a whole policy is that you are liable to be taxed when you borrow from it. Okay. So, they're great policies, they're awesome policies, And again, if you want to get a whole life policy, you know, you have that leverage to where in 20 years, 10 years, you can always, even 5 years, you can always take your policies that you have and move them
Yep.
up. Move them up to you.
Yeah.
Elevate
Yeah.
yourself.
Like when the
Elevate.
cost of living goes up, you just go up,
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
Just
key. That's
elevate
got to be
yourself.
the key because if you just stay stagnant or say that, you won't really grow your account. So the key is to, as life changes, which will keep happening every year, cost of living goes up, you got to elevate and go up too. That, if your minimum wage goes up, you invest in yourself and you put it into those accounts.
Absolutely. Um, the cash value part is what completely blows my mind because the rich have been doing it for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, National Life Group, they they were the insurance company that the people of the Titanic had.
Mm-hmm.
So that just how long they've been around. Like the rich have been doing this for years and years and years, and nobody, I mean, they've said something, right? But nobody has taught us
Right.
this.
Right.
They always make it seem like even Google, like I was Googling some stuff, and even Google downplays it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It really gets a hard knock, and and I'm glad we got together and were able to speak on this. Um, and I've talked to other advisors and stuff like that, and it just always has that feel to it, and it's just like, well, we don't educate enough, we don't dig enough, and it just has like that stigma a little bit. So it's kind of crazy, but you have to just take a moment and listen and then do your research. Like, it's a legit, real thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So our last policy is an IUL, an Index Universal Life Policy. Okay. Now these are the big dogs. These are the hybrid policies. Okay. These are the ones that, you know, you put some money into it, it's always going to gain
Mm-hmm.
something. Okay. So you have your fixed, right? It'll always have that fixed feeling. You know, it's got that safety of the bank. Okay. So it's safe, right? And you have that variable to where it will always constantly gain you money. Now, if the stock market was to crash, it has a floor of zero. Okay. So if the stock market crashes, guess where your money goes?
Stays the same.
It stays exactly the same.
That's just the best. It's the best part.
Yeah. stays exactly the same. The stock market goes up, your policy goes up. Your cash value goes up. The stock market crashes again. That floor is zero. You're not losing anything.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That's the best part. You're not losing anything. You know, I've these some of the groups, they're always like, well, if you're going to invest in a life insurance policy, you might as well just invest in the stock market. Well,
It's
I
different,
mean, if you want to invest in the stock market, yeah, sure, go ahead. If that's your
right?
thing and you like high risk, fine.
Yeah. Just be
Because
prepared that your money's gonna change. Your money's gonna move with the market. That's the difference. That's the biggest difference. Like you put your money in the stock market, it's gonna move with the market, up,
yeah,
down. The market never dies in like the market usually grows every 5 to 10. It'll grow, but
yeah,
it'll have its dips. So like, don't catch a heart attack when you see the dip because it'll go back up. You just have to wait. With this, your money just stays where it either grows or stays with the market. It doesn't dip.
and what people are actually noticing, even with the recession that we're in right now, like my mentor, she has IULs for her whole family, right? And so this last year, she just got her results back. So even as much as the stock market has crashed last year, her cash value still went
It
up
still goes up. Yep. Yep.
without her putting her money into it.
Right.
Without her putting her money into it, it still went up
Still grows. Yep. Yep.
9.25%.
Yep. The 2.5. Yeah.
If you put your money into a bank account, like I bank with Navy Federal, my interest just went up to 0.02. I was
Oh,
at
great.
0.4.
Zero. There's some zeros in front. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, the bank is it's insane. It's funny. You could.
Yeah,
My dad told me, they'll lend you out the same money that you put in, the same money, lend it right back out to you and charge you, 25% interest,
yeah,
10% interest. It's crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy.
You can put $1 million into a bank account, but you cannot walk into that bank, into that same bank that you walked into to put that money in.
Yeah.
You cannot walk into
Yeah.
that
But
bank and
well.
they will literally tell you, Bank of America will tell you, you got to call first.
Right.
You got to call first, and there's a couple of things you need to sign, and they'll whisper to you, I heard you want to take out $1 million. Yes, I want to take
Like.
$1 million. It's my money. I put it in there. I walked in this bank. I put it in there. I would like to take it out.
Hmm.
And they're gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, and then you're at risk that Zelle could just come in and take your money right out. That's just different. I just throw that one in there for Bank of America. I apologize to all my Bank of America watchers. I get it. I'm sorry. Not everybody was affected. I just have to throw that joke in there. I'm sorry.
That part. The rich have been doing it for years, and there's no law to where you have to have one life insurance policy.
Yeah.
How do you think? So the great thing about these life insurance policies is that they're tax free, right? So there's four things you want your money to do for you. You want it to be safe, right? That's why we use our banks. They're covered under the FDIC. You want it to grow,
Right. Growth is power.
right? You want it to be accessible.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have bank cards. That's why we have ATMs. That's why we're able to go into the bank and withdraw our money, right? And you also want to have tax avoidance, not tax evasion, okay? Tax avoidance. You
Right.
can have more than one life insurance policy, and you can feed those IULs money every single year, every single month. Now, it does have a cap,
Right.
okay? Some life insurance policies, you can only add so much to them without sending a message to the IRS,
Right.
right? You cannot go into your bank account and put $600 in there and don't think the IRS don't know what you're doing.
Right. IRS don't play
Uh,
that.
Yeah, Biden passed a law when he first became president that every single time you put $600 or more inside your bank account, the IRS gets a notification letting them know that you have had more than $600 inside your bank account.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without your acknowledgement, by the way. Okay. So this is something that this is a law.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have your permission to do this, but this is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. My friend, it was a little bit ago, he was making deposits to his account, and they've increased, and there was like often, and then he got like alerted, like, hey, you got a phone call, I forget what the case was. It was just like, where's this increase coming from? Like, they had, it was questions and stuff, but it goes to show you that, like, that's a real thing, that's a real thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can feed into these IULs, you can feed into them. You can feed up to, I haven't seen anything now. I've heard, but like even my cap, I can add $15,000 to my IUL every single month. I mean, not every single month, every single year without setting an alarm off to the IRS. My policy is just them. It's a small policy. It ain't worth very much.
Right.
It's a low one. It's affordable for me, right? So, but some people have $300,000, $400,000, $30,000 policies, and their caps on these policies are huge, and that's how they're able to not be taxed on their money so much because they're putting them inside these policies, and they just keep buying more policies and putting that money back into more policies.
Yeah, so people got to take full advantage of it. Thank you for the breakdown for sure between the 4 and 5 of them. For the audience, hey, what's up, everybody? Getting some hazing comments. For everybody that is watching, and anybody that replays and watch this, what's the best way? You can drop like your link in the comments. What's the best way people can get in contact with you? Can they DM you for any questions, like things of that sort?
Absolutely. You can reach me on Facebook at Chastity Patterson. You could always, I have old ones that I've been trying to get them to take off, but they haven't yet. So you'll see me, my fiance, and my daddy. Okay. So when you see that, you're on the right page.
Right. There you go.
You can get with me at Cosmic Soul 88 on Instagram.
Awesome.
And my phone number, you can always send me a text or give me a call. The phone number is 214-286-2424.
Awesome. Yeah, and then anybody in the comments, you got questions, just drop them. Again, it'll be here for replay. This live won't delete, so you can always come back to it. And thank everybody for your time. Thank you, more importantly, Chastity, for breaking it down, showing us everything. Again, shoot her a DM. If you got questions, drop them in the comments. Feel free to share this with other people. It's definitely an amazing thing and a great benefit for people, your loved ones, your family ones. You work really hard every single day. You guys we all put our, lives not on the line, but we put our lives, going out, coming home is super important. It's important to me, waking up every day. I'm God blessed for that. Being able to come home every day and see my family. So, got to leave them something to make sure that they're protected, you're protected, generational wealth is protected. So generational wealth is like the biggest thing, right? It's the generations. So look around at your family, look at your friends, look at your kids, and say, hey, what's the bigger picture and how can I get it done? Well, life insurance is a great way. So thank you, Chastity, for bringing us through it. I'll see you guys next week. Looking forward to the replay, all the comments. Much love. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Bye, y'all.
All right. See you, Chastity. Bye-bye.
Bye.